Hello, hello. Welcome back, Moon Crew. My name is Renee. I am your spiritual hostess with the mostest. I am doing a pick card reading today regarding finances and career. I like to ask my followers over on Instagram what it is that you want me to do readings on. And today, everyone said career or finances in some aspect or shape or form. So here we are. We're going to talk about your finances, how to get better money, etc., etc. Now, know that this is a collective reading on YouTube, and not everything is going to fit one size fits all. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and we'll go ahead and get into the reading. So, for pile one, we have the Daughter of Pentacles. This is the Page of Pentacles with this little clothespin. For pile two, we have the Seven of Wands and the little key. And then for the third pile, we have the Two of Swords with the snowflake. Obviously, you get to choose what pile it is that you feel drawn to, and I will meet you guys in your pile. Hello, pile one. If you chose the Page of Pentacles and the clothespin, this is your reading. I can't talk today. I can't talk every day. I always mix up words. It's my brain. Anyways, so when I look at this, I definitely think of someone who is trying to be hopeful for more changes or better things to come in, but we're trying to be practical. The Page of Pentacles is someone who has an inkling of an idea of what she wants, but she doesn't really have the knowledge in how to go about that. And so a lot of times when it comes to like readings, it talks about a need to find a practical approach to things. But with the rainbow there in the background, it does talk about hope, faith coming in. And I feel like with this doe here, she is someone who is very shy, docile. She is not someone who takes charge. She doesn't have antlers. And so she kind of just is meek and just hangs around waiting for opportunities to come for her. But this comes from a form of attachment. We're attached to the comfortability in which we, hold money, view finances, and those kind of things. And so there's a need to be a little bit more practical on how you view money and what you do with money and how it is that you move forward in your life. So with that, I wanted to channel a song, which is gonna be Love Me Harder by Ariana Grande and The Weeknd. That's interesting. So what I'm getting from that is definitely someone who needs to view their relationship with money. Because if I think about this song, it does talk about like lustful energy. And so when we think about money, it's in a very lustful standpoint. It's like, I can never have enough. I'm obsessed with it. And so maybe there's a need to like step back from that just a little bit and maybe not obsess about money, how much money you're spending, how much money you're getting in, because that can be a little bit toxic. And a little bit of a toxic view on how you view money is how you're going to treat money. Money is an energy. And so there's a need to kind of take a step back from how you're viewing it. A lot of times it does talk about a need for like shifting mindset on how you view money. But we'll go ahead and get into it and see what else Spirit has to say for you. All right, Spirit, can you give me some guidance on finances and career for my pile number one? Finances and career for my pile number one, please, Spirit. Whoop. Oh, we got a little bit of frustration right out the bat with that King of Wands reverse. Someone who feels like throwing in the towel, or perhaps maybe they are powerless to change their situation, especially with that Two of Cups in reverse. That to me indicates someone who doesn't feel like they get equal like energy back than what they're putting in. So what I'm looking at so far is like you work your butt off, but it feels like you aren't going anywhere. And that's because of how you view money. It's how you treat money. It's how you are viewing yourself. All of these cards are in reverse. Every single last card. And then I have the Two of Swords reverse. We'll put that over the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with the King of Wands reverse is that frustration. It's the lack of balance with the Temperance reverse. But there's also an impatience here when it comes to money, when it comes to finances. It is, I'm tired of being the way I am with money. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of not having enough money to pay my bills. When Spirit is highlighting like an unequal amount of energy exchange, like you are either giving too much out or not receiving enough back in, or maybe it's both. I'm definitely highlighting some issues with overspending. Someone who needs to pull back on spending a little bit and be a little bit more practical about how much they're spending. Maybe figuring out where you can cut your bills down. I don't know if you eat out a lot. Well, it probably is. I know I do that too sometimes, and then I complain. But who doesn't? Who doesn't go out to eat a lot and then like complains that they don't have money? Like, I feel like that is society as a whole right now, just based on everything. And sometimes it's cheaper to eat out than it is to buy groceries, and then you don't have to cook it. So regardless, there's like an unequal balance here with how much you're giving out and how much you're receiving back. And with this Emperor, it's like you feel like throwing in the towel because it's in reverse. The upright feels very stable, very secure. You know, he's sitting on his throne. He's kind of like chilled out over here. Like, I don't care. I'm playing chess. Y'all are playing checkers. Where in actuality, because all of these cards are in reverse, it's like you are overly stressed. You don't feel secure. You don't feel stable. And it almost feels like the world is out to get you when it comes to money. I definitely see, like here with the Five of Cups reverse, it's like Spirit's like, you got to get out of that mindset. You have to get out of the negative mindset, because when you're in that victim mindset, and I'm not saying this to like make you feel shameful, I just want you to know that. But when it comes to victim mindset with money, it keeps you perpetually in that cycle. And so you continue to have that lack of money, and you can continue to not create change within your life in order to move forward. Spirit is saying this uncomfortability is for you to reflect so that you can move forward, because the Two of Swords is here in reverse. This tells me that we need to get out of our headspace. We need to make changes. We need to make new decisions, and those new decisions based on what it is that's going to be good for our own stability, our own mental health. Because Queen of Pentacles in reverse always tells me you need to self-nurture, self-care. And self-nurture and self-care doesn't mean to go get your hair done. Yeah, I mean, yes, but no. If you don't have the money, don't do it, okay? But basically, they're showing me that there's a need to figure out where you can cut your bills down. And if you can't cut your bills down, maybe you live in an expensive state like California, Florida, New York, Connecticut, like all of the places that are super expensive, and you know, you don't have the salary to live those places. Maybe it's time for a different change. Maybe it's time to step out of that comfort zone. Maybe it's time to find a new career, or maybe get a second job. And I'm definitely picking up on like all of your stuff here in this pile is all about how you view money. And I always feel like when you shift your mindset on money, it helps you I can't speak. It helps you make the actions and the change that you need in order to go after what it is you want and to make your life better. Literally, the Six of Pentacles is back the deck. So again, it's all highlighting the imbalance here, the unfairness. And you're all over here like, thinking it is unfair. Maybe you were born into poverty and you've been working your butt off and you're still in poverty. I don't really know. But what it comes down to is a need to shift the mindset. Because when you're in victim mentality, you stay stuck in those cycles that you are needing to break out of. Those are your karmic lessons. So with that, I want to get some cards from the Soul's Journey, just a couple because they're huge. They're going to take up the whole screen, so I might as well get two. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit about what pile 1 needs to do when it comes to finances and their career? Finances and their career, please, Spirit. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Oh, so someone might have lost their job or shifting their job. Maybe they are getting divorced or something along those lines, especially at the Two of Cups reverse. But what I'm seeing here is a need to lighten your load mentally. And that's what I was saying, like shifting the mindset. It has nothing to do with like, your bills aren't going to go away if you have a better view on money, right? But what it can do is empower you to make choices that are good for you. And a lot of times when you release that stress that you feel, especially when it comes to money and finances in your career, when you release that stress, it's easier for you to make those decisions that are best for you instead of what's best for everyone else. And so what I'm seeing here with that humor is like literally going and having fun and de-stressing so that you can make sound decisions for yourself and how to move forward. I definitely feel like something needs to change, something needs to shift, and it won't shift until you make that decision, especially with, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Whatever you tend to lose, it wasn't meant to be yours in the first place. Stop holding on to it, especially if it's a job. Jobs will replace you so easily. They don't even care about you as a person. So when that comes about, I really feel like you just need to start making more empowered decisions and how you move forward. My pile 1, please. Oh, that was a lot. My pile 1, please, Spirit. What is it that they need to hear about money and finances? Okay, well, they just keep sending me like a whole bunch. The Violet Flame, surrender, radical expansion, balanced forces. Okay, I'm not going to read all of these, but I do want to highlight, like with the surrender card, it talks about loosening control of everything and having courage to move forward. I'm going to go ahead and like pause this for a second. So if you want to, you can pause the video so you can read what they are, but I'm going to go ahead and explain everything to you so that, well, my interpretation of it anyways. So with the violet flame is an energy that we use in order for spiritual awakening. It talks about the need for meditation and self-care practice and getting a stronger like psychic awareness for yourself, and that is by following your intuition. You can't expect change if you don't tap into your own soul's compass. Your own soul's compass is going to tell you what's right for you and what's not right for you. And that's where the radical expansion is going to happen. When you start listening to yourself, when you start listening to your intuition, when you start listening to your body and how your body feels. Are you tired? Are you stressed? Are you angry? Are you anxious? If all of those things are happening at work or with finances, that is a way your soul is trying to expand in order to move forward in your life, like past this energy. I definitely feel like someone's throat chakra is also off. Like you don't speak your truth. You hold back a lot in your workplace because you don't want to ruffle feathers and you don't want to create conflict. But it's like that's your biggest strength, is speaking up and telling people like, hey, I see something different, like here and there. But in that surrender is like letting go of control, allowing things to flow, letting things flow out of your life that aren't meant to be in your life. That is where you're going to find the balance, and that balance will help you find a more balanced perspective. And a more balanced perspective will help you drive your focus and concentration onto your goals and your desires and your ambition. And then it's also going to help you be open and receptive and trust that everything's going to work out for you in the way that it's meant to work out for you. And so these 4 cards, yeah, they came out together chaotically. I wanted only one, but this is telling me that things need to shift within your mindset so that you can take the steps to move forward. It's very much like, I don't know, I keep seeing a square. So it's like, find the balance. I definitely feel like things are going to get better for you around like this summer, sometime between June and August. But that's only if you make the changes that are needed to make. And I'm hearing budget. I need to create a budget, and then also find a way to lower your costs. That's basically what I'm seeing. If you're looking for a new job, I definitely see a new job happening for you. If you're not, I see some kind of like extra income coming in from a side hustle or something. So that is what I have for that. I'm going to do the charm reading. So if you're adverse to noise, please turn it down, the volume, and then you can turn it back up when I'm done. But I'm going to go ahead and start pulling now. So I have the Q, V, R, F. We have the watermelon. That is that, when I think of this, it talks about like things being different on the outside than the inside. So the inside perspective you have might be different than what you're seeing on the outside, and that might be why you are having a hard time making a decision. With the sour apple, we thought that something was going to be much better than it was. We took a bite and it was actually really sour. I have the lotus. This talks about following your intuition and your connection to the divine. It also talks about manifesting and being mindful. So being mindful of what you think of when it comes to money, or like how you treat money, how you view money. Money is an energy. I do see the lightning. So this does talk about a tower moment for me. So maybe someone may have lost their job, or they might lose their job, but there's a need for sudden change, and there's a need for you to step out of your comfort zone in order to do that. We also have the divine feminine. This tells me that we need to do some inner reflection. It also is the high priestess for me. So following our intuition again. Your pile is very intuitive in nature, and so there's a need for you to stop discounting how you feel, because it's not logical. It's not logical for a reason. It's because your soul, at a soul level, knows what it is that you need, and they're trying to give you guidance in order to get to what it is that you need. So with that is the end of the reading for you guys. I hope that it was very helpful. If you want your own personal reading, you can book with me at moonlightdivine.com. Please remember, I will never message you via DMs nor in the comment section, like ever. Please don't get scammed. But I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 2. And if you picked the 7 of Wands and this key, welcome to your reading. Today we are doing the what's going on with your career and finances reading. I don't really know what to name this. I just know that people wanted it. So here we are. So with the 7 of Wands, it always tells me that you are a hustler. You don't give up easily. You push, and sometimes it's to the point where you're overwhelming yourself, because I don't know if you notice this, but there's like one singular flame. But also, it's like you have ideas that stand out to the other people, right? You stand out aside from a crowd. Even though you have like maybe the same ideas, maybe, just maybe, it's completely different and it stands out in some way, shape, or form. So the key here tells me that we're very ambitious and that perhaps things are about to shift. Like it feels like something is about to be unlocked when it comes to your finances and your money. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and start your reading. I did get a channeled song. It was Drop It Low by Esther Dean, featuring Chris Brown. And it cracks me up. This song cracks me up because like literally the very first line is, "This is for my boss bitches, for money making bitches. All my ladies, throw your hands in the air." And then it talks about being the baddest bitch in the club right here. So it's like, you are a boss bitch. You have everything going for you. And of course, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a woman or anything. But what I'm seeing is like you hustle hard and you're going to have a lot coming to you for that reason. So with that, let's go ahead and get started for your reading. I'm so excited. Pile 2, I feel like you have so much going for you. Oh, all right, let's see. Pile 2, what's going on with Pile 2, Spirit? What's going on with Pile 2 and their finances and their career? That's a little worrisome. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it now. You grew up, it feels like you grew up like maybe not super poor, maybe you were poor, but the way you grew up had an influence on how you view money and like how you hustle for it. It feels like you didn't have a lot growing up, or perhaps maybe your parents just didn't give you enough. But yeah, there's like a strategy to overcome everything. You always think outside the box. You always shift perspectives. You tend to be one of those people who, I don't know, you just push no matter what. Like sometimes I feel like you push too much. And it's because of something that's happened in the past here with the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. I definitely feel like someone here who maybe, you know, maybe they weren't eating every day, or perhaps maybe if they did eat, it was like 1 meal a day and it wasn't very big. And that wasn't by choice. It was because you didn't have money. And so you kind of never wanted to feel that way again, like feel that loss. And so we've done everything we can in order to hustle harder and push more. It almost feels like someone who would have like 2, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. I don't know. You just worked because you liked money so much. And Spirit is saying that you will get your wish fulfillment when it comes to money. You will end up getting that wish fulfillment, but it's you don't trust it. You don't trust that it's going to come in. Which, you know, I feel like if you grew up the way you grew up, yeah, that's I know, I get it. But the King of Pentacles back a deck is being highlighted in reverse. It's like, it's almost to the point where you focus too much on money. And it's almost like you don't give yourself enough time to exist or allow your divine feminine to flow and just be in that resting flow energy. And it's almost to the point where you're getting burnt out, especially with that 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands that you picked, I definitely see like a burnt out energy when it comes to your finances and your work. But that you do it to yourself. You do it to yourself. You have to give yourself rest. You have to prioritize rest, or you will get burnt out, and then eventually you'll just give up completely. So with that, I think that you're on the right track. I don't think you need to shift or change anything, but let's go ahead and see what comes out for the Soul's Journey cards, because these are really good about highlighting what the fears are or what it is that we need to work through when it comes to finances and career. Okay, Spirit. I feel like doubt is one of them. Balance. What did I say? Finding the balance between work and home. Indecision. Okay, we're going to do that because this one goes first. Patience. Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair. I think a lot of us have impatience when it comes to things that we want, just because we work so hard towards it sometimes. And so I feel like when it comes to what it is that you want, like your big ideas, the big ideas that you want to put into play, you have to understand that not everyone is ready for it right now. If you were to bring it out right now, you'd probably get ridiculed for it. I don't know what it is that you're trying to launch or something, but they're like, you're going to get ridiculed for it. It's not time. Like, everything happens in divine order. And I feel like there's also like this intuition block here when it comes to like how you move forward. And I definitely am seeing like the Two of Swords in my head, where there's a need to like find the balance, but we don't know how. And I definitely feel like you're judging yourself because you haven't figured this part out of your life, because to me, you feel like very earth signy. I'm not gonna lie, you feel like someone who's like a Capricorn or something. Capricorn, Virgo, whatever, you know, someone who is an earth sign who feels like they should be at a place that's more than where they're at now, and that's frustrating to you. And I feel like because you're frustrated, you are having a hard time following your intuition with the things that are coming in for you. And so there's just a need to take a step back, step more into the flow, and just allow yourself to exist without needing to work towards it. You are allowed to exist without needing to work towards something. Does that make sense? So the affirmation that just came to my head is, I get paid to exist. I get paid to exist. You need to start speaking that to yourself over and over and over again. And just existing will not feel as daunting to you, because you're someone who, I feel like, if you're not working, you don't feel valuable. But you are valuable. You have a lot of things that you bring to the table. And I just heard in my head, like, what? Bitch, please, don't start with me. Don't start with me. Like, you have a lot to bring to the table. And I feel like you don't need to work as hard as you do in order to be as rich as you want. Think about it. CEOs barely fucking work and they make billions of dollars. Like, have a mindset of a boss instead of having a mindset of a worker. That's the problem here. You have the mindset of a worker. You need to have the mindset of a boss. Shift that mindset. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's get the Beyond Lemuria card. I just want one, Spirit. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, last pile, they gave me 4. I was like, damn. Okay, so with home, it says, our way home to oneness and the truest part of our infinite selves is to know ourselves beyond the socialized matrix of mind-constructed reality. When all sense of flighty survival drops away, a deep sigh radiates from the safe space within, where you can ground dreams into realities. Deep heart-based presence is a direct portal home. Align with your temple space. You have dreams, visions, and may yearn for etheric realms, but it is when you are fully present in our bodies that we can actualize ideas and make a difference. Be grounded, find your home. The deeper our roots, the higher we can reach into the heavens. Literally, what did I just tell you? Oh my God, if that's not divine confirmation, I don't even know what is, okay? But we're going to go ahead and do our charms. If you are averse to noise, please lower the volume. This does get very loud. Well, that's a lot. Okay. Okay. We have Z, B, O. Oh, look, a boss bitch, boss energy. Look how gold it is, though. Gold indicates money to me. We do have a rain cloud, so to me this indicates someone who is overly emotional and sometimes in a negative mind space when it comes to money. We also have the sunflower. This talks about needing to find joy and happiness in our life. When you look at a sunflower, it always faces the sun. And so rejuvenating yourself is going to be very important while you navigate this career and finance. With the moon, it does say follow your intuition. Things are going to come to light. And I feel like as you're someone who thinks on your feet very well, so you're able to problem solve very well. So it's just like following your intuition with that. We do have the haunted house. This does indicate to me a lot of times is like the past coming back to haunt us. So with that, I definitely feel like it has to do with your childhood, how you grew up. We do have attachment with the clothespin. We're attached to money. That's something maybe we shouldn't attach our own value to. We do have the prince frog here, the frog prince, whatever it is you want to call him. He's royalty of abundance and fertility. You know, frogs are all about abundance, and so you will have what it is that you want. You just need to shift the mindset on how you get there. I also got another moon, so I feel like someone else's intuition is going to be very on point too. You want to follow their advice, but you have to be very wary of who it is that you follow, because I feel like there's going to be some false leads that maybe lead to bad investments. And so be very careful. If your gut is telling you no, don't do it. We do have the lemon. I like to think of the summer with this, and so I feel like summer is going to be a really good time for you when it comes to money. I also feel like enjoying life, because I keep seeing someone sitting like on a pool lounger, like with a mojito in their hand and a lemon on their like glass, or like a lemonade or something. We got the lightning bolt again. So in pile number 1, we also got the lightning bolt. It does talk about sudden change happening here. So I definitely see like things shifting for you. Things shifting for you in a very sudden sense. We also got the starfish. It talks about regeneration, rebirth, regrowth. And then of course we have the broken commitment with the broken ring. So it does talk about like if someone does break a commitment when it comes to your finances, your career, or something like that. I think it's divinely guided. I don't think that you should continue along that contract or try to keep it. I feel like there's something that's much better that's going to come in for you. Okay, that's what I have for you. If you want your own private reading, you can book with me at moonlightdivine.com. Please remember, I will never DM nor message you anywhere telling you need a reading. I know the right person will always come to me. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hi, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you picked the Two of Swords and the Snowflake, this is definitely for you. So with the Two of Swords, it does talk about a need to make a decision. It does talk about, being stuck in our headspace over that decision. With the Snowflake, I definitely think of like purification happening. I think of a time for pause and a time for freeze. Like it's not time for whatever it is that you're wanting right now when it comes to money. And you need to pause and reflect on what is actually going to make you happy. So with that, I did channel a song. It's What My World Spins Around by Jordan Davis. This is a love song. Which is crazy to me because, it has nothing to do with money. But what I was picking up from it is like you're going to be someone who marries like somebody with money or like they have money. Things are going to get better when you get in a relationship with this person. And I feel like this person's going to spoil you when it comes to your own finances and career. I don't want to say like completely that you're going to be broke or that you're not working or anything like that, but I definitely feel like this person's going to want to take care of you, and so your money issues, your finances are going to get better with a partner. And with that, I am going to go ahead and start pulling from my Light Seers Tarot. Spirit, can you please give me some guidance on pile 3 and their finances / career? What's going to happen with that, please? Yeah, some exhaustion. Okay, everything is going to... There's that offer. The Page of Pentacles came out, but the Lovers is in reverse. Okay. So I'm picking up on some kind of offer that's going to be made. one that you aren't exactly fond of, you aren't exactly like happy with. And with that Eight of Pentacles, it's like I put all this time and energy and effort into something. I don't want to just like throw it away. But with that Four of Cups reverse, it's like you're not having fun. Like you're not having fun where you're at. You don't like your job, or you don't like your finances, or like you're very dissatisfied and bored with like where life is. With that Ace of Pentacles, though, it does indicate to me like there's going to be some kind of offer being given to you. And I'm like literally seeing like someone's husband or wife going like, just stay home. Just stay home. I'm the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? Or like, just quit your job. You know, you're stressed out. Like this is going to be for a very like low amount of people. Don't think that you're just going to get a sugar daddy overnight if you're single. Like... But with the Nine of Wands, it does indicate to me like someone who's exhausted, someone who doesn't have the clarity on how they should move forward because they're exhausted so much. And with that Lover's reverse, it's like the dissatisfaction. I can't even talk today. And like a hot and cold energy. It's like I like my money, but I don't like my job. You know what I'm saying? It's very like hot and cold, like when it comes to career and finances. And I also feel like there's a need to be a little bit more practical with how we view finances and like maybe not spend as much as we've been spending. There's a need to like cut back, but I feel like you're gonna feel better for it. I don't know why I'm seeing in my head like the trad wife phase that's happening right now, like where people are making things from scratch and they're just like living their life, like just exhausting. That's what it feels like. Not everyone is gonna like that idea. Not everyone is gonna be for that idea, obviously. Like there are some people who like really like to work, but the people I'm talking about, I really feel like you're gonna be someone who like is gonna want to make things from scratch, and you're gonna be creative, and you're gonna do crafts, and I feel like you're going to end up doing some sort of business with that because you do enjoy it, and it's going to take you out of like the rat race energy, which isn't the divine masculine energy. So the person I'm talking to is uncomfortable in divine masculine energy, and that's why you feel uncomfortable at work, like doing the work that you're doing. And so this is going to give you the opportunity in order to like move forward. I definitely see also like maybe working markets. I don't know why I just saw honey. Like I just saw like a market with like honey in it, and then there's like another one with like fruits, and then there's another like baked goods. But obviously like follow your local laws when it comes to like selling food, okay? Like don't do it in a bad way. But don't be like, Renee told me to start it and then like not do everything you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like go get your permits. Go get your permits and do things right. So with that, I definitely feel like you're going to be someone who like works from home and like doing what it is that you want to do. And I don't think you're going to like blow up on social media. Like some people really want to like blow up on social media and feel like that's how they're going to get their business. For you, you're going to get your business from word of mouth and from like people actually seeing and like trying your products or like whatever it is that you're doing. So, yeah, I'm like seeing markets and stuff. It's really cute. Like you're going to have a very local, like, you're going to have like a very local, I don't know, vibe here. But it's like, I'm tired. I'm not dedicated to it anymore. Like whatever you're in currently, they're like, she or he is not into it. So with that, let's go ahead and pull from the Soul Journey lesson cards. What is it that Fountain 3 needs to hear when it comes to finances and career, please? I saw the word worry, so I don't know if that's going to come out or not. Denial, blame, acceptance. Okay. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change, which means you cannot control other people, places, or things. denial, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness. And then blame, I accept responsibility for my well-being. So with this, I'm definitely seeing someone who is having a shitty situation at work. It's very toxic, and then they blame like everyone else for their toxic energy, which yes, but also, why do you keep going to work if it's toxic? Why do you keep going to the same place if it's toxic? Instead of blaming other people, you need to accept that maybe that's not the place for you, and maybe you should like do something to shift it, because it's going to stay toxic for as long as you let it stay toxic, right? For as long as you allow yourself to stay there. And then of course they're like, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness. If you're aware that you have the power to shift it, instead of blaming someone else, you can actually do something about it and move forward. Stop waiting for other people to shift and change things. It's your life. You have to shift and change things. You have to like go have a conversation with your rich ass husband, apparently. I'm just kidding. Don't yell at me. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, go do something. Stop sitting around and expecting things to shift and change. Like, it's so funny because I'm being shown what I used to tell people all the time is like they'd come to me for love readings, but then they would never leave their house. They would never be on dating apps. And then I'd be like, well, where do you expect to meet the guy? Do you think that they're going to show up at your doorstep like FedEx? Here I am. No, like you have to take some kind of action or initiative in order to like meet somebody. You can't just meet somebody sitting in your house doing nothing, watching Grey's Anatomy all the time, you know? So it's like, if you're unhappy, do something to change it. You need to go find a new job or start your business. Like, stop letting fear hold you back because you're in denial right now. It's like you have these ideas for a reason. They're coming to you, but you are stuck in the Two of Swords energy. I can't decide. I can't make changes. I can't do anything. Like, stop saying I can't. You can. You're just afraid, and being afraid is fine. You know, it's normal. You're allowed to have fear, but also don't blame other people because your life is not the way you want it to be. So with that, we're going to get some charms. This reading is definitely going to be much shorter than the other two. I don't really know. Probably because I'm talking so fast. I really am talking like really, really fast with yours, so I'm sorry. So with that, we're going to do your charm reading. You know the drill. Please turn it down if you're adverse to noise because it does get very loud. Okay. So we have WBB, Web, Z, we have M, we have O, Bob the Builder, Mob Wives, Bzz, someone ringing your doorbell. Okay, we also have the heart. It's like following your heart on what it is that you want to do. Because I feel like you're not happy. You haven't been happy for a while doing what you're doing. We also have the shooting star. I just heard the saying from Woody on Toy Story, reach for the sky. So Toy Story might be a thing for you, but you also need to like stop settling. Start reaching for what it is that you want, for what you deserve. Oh, look, the snowflake came back out. Like, stop putting your life on pause. Yeah, it's not time yet, but you need to make the decision. As soon as you make the decision, things are going to move forward. We got some juicy fruit here. I don't know if you like juicy fruit, but we have the watermelon. It's like things on the outside don't appear as they do on the inside. The inside is much sweeter. And so when you follow your intuition, when you follow your gut, when you follow your feelings, then things in your life are going to turn out sweeter. We have these green apple here. To me, this always indicates somebody who chose to bite into an apple and then instead of it being sweet, it's sour. And so things aren't exactly what it is that we thought they were going to be. We also got the lemon. This does talk about a need to like relax and enjoy your life. You know, the lemon always reminds me of someone who's sitting on a lounger by the pool, like drinking a lemonade or a mojito or something. We have the wheel. You need to turn the wheel in your favor. You need to take initiative. You need to steer your boat of life in the direction that you want it to, you know, steer in. You have to give directions on how you want your life to go. Your spirit guides can give you everything that you want, but if it's not what you want, you have to express that, right? You have to start expressing what it is you want. We also have the sun. It talks about changing your perspective. I love the sun. It does talk about a need for like a more positive mindset. But with the bat here, it does indicate someone who's going through a dark period of time, and that's kind of why. But, you know, it's like what we see in the dark that will be illuminated later. We also have the feather. It talks about your guides being with you at all times. There's a need to speak with your guides, talk to your guides, and your guides will give you the insight on how to get to where you want to go. And then we have the sword. To me, this indicates the sword of truth, some kind of clarity coming in order to move things forward in the way that you want them. All right, so Pile 3, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want your own personal reading, you can book with me at moonlightdivine.com. Please remember, I'll never message you or DM you for a reading. Those are scammers. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.